Get ready for spine-tingling dread as we dive into 10 creepy true horror stories. In the dark corners of our world, truth is often more terrifying than fiction. Subscribe now and join us on a journey through the unknown. Story 1: The Whispering Shadows. The night was draped in an ominous silence as Jonathan Blackwell approached the entrance of the castle, the towering structure looming like a specter against the moonlit sky. His footsteps echoed through the courtyard, disturbing the slumber of long-forgotten gravestones that lay scattered in the overgrown garden. As he crossed the threshold, the castle's heavy oak door creaked open, inviting him into its ancient embrace. The air inside was thick with the scent of decay, and the flickering candlelight cast long, distorted shadows on the walls. Undeterred, Jonathan ventured deeper, guided only by the ethereal whispers that echoed through the labyrinthine corridors. The paranormal investigator reached a chamber with walls adorned by faded tapestries, telling tales of an aristocratic lineage steeped in tragedy. A grand staircase led to the upper floors, each step resonating with the weight of centuries-old secrets. The whispers grew more insistent, urging Jonathan to uncover the castle's cursed past. In a dimly lit room, he discovered an ornate mirror, its frame adorned with intricate carvings depicting scenes of torment. As Jonathan approached, the mirror seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. His reflection distorted, revealing the tortured faces of those who had met a grisly fate within the castle's cold embrace. Suddenly, the room plunged into darkness, and the whispers crescendoed into anguished cries. The mirror shattered into shards, releasing a torrent of shadows that writhed and contorted, forming the phantoms of the castle's tormented souls. Jonathan, frozen in terror, witnessed the spirits converging into a spectral symphony that resonated through the haunted halls. The voices spoke as one, warning him to flee before becoming a permanent resident of the shadowy abyss. Panic surged through him as he stumbled backward, the shadows closing in. In a desperate attempt to escape, Jonathan sprinted through the twisting corridors, the spectral entities trailing behind like a sinister cloak. The castle seemed to mock his futile attempts, its ancient stones echoing with malicious laughter. Just as Jonathan believed escape was impossible, he burst through the castle doors, the moonlight providing a momentary sanctuary. Gasping for breath, he looked back, expecting the shadows to follow, but the castle stood silent, as if savoring the taste of fear it had instilled. Jonathan, marked by the encounter, carried the chilling echoes of the castle's whispers with him. Little did he know that the shadows, having tasted the warmth of the living, would forever hunger for more souls to join their haunting symphony, ensuring that the curse endured with a relentless, insatiable thirst for the living. Story 2: The Macabre Masquerade. Amelia Grayson, a fearless investigator of the paranormal, stood at the entrance of the castle, her eyes fixed on the towering spires that seemed to pierce the heavens. The tales of a haunted masquerade ball held within the castle's walls lured her like a moth to a flame. Her camera and EVP recorder in hand, she crossed the threshold, entering a realm where the living and the spectral would intertwine in a nightmarish dance. As the clock struck midnight, the castle erupted with an ethereal melody that echoed through its grand halls. The haunting notes of a phantom piano played a melancholic tune, setting the stage for the ghostly masquerade. Masked apparitions materialized, their costumes frozen in time, reminiscent of a bygone era. Amelia, undeterred by the spectral gathering, followed the procession of phantoms into the heart of the castle. The grand ballroom came alive with the eerie dance of the masked figures, their movements synchronized with the mournful music. Unseen hands guided her through the crowd, forcing her to partake in the spectral waltz. The masked revelers fixed their hollow gazes on Amelia, their eyes devoid of life but brimming with a longing that transcended the boundaries of the afterlife. Unbeknownst to her, the masquerade sought a living soul to join its tragic dance, perpetuating the curse that bound the castle in perpetual sorrow. In a trance, Amelia followed the ghostly procession into a hidden chamber, where the music reached a crescendo before abruptly ceasing. The masks of the apparitions turned towards her simultaneously, their featureless faces revealing a grotesque distortion beneath. The air thickened with an oppressive presence as the spirits converged upon her, binding her to the macabre masquerade. As the final notes of the spectral dance faded away, Amelia found herself trapped in a nightmarish tableau. The masks transformed, contorting into grotesque visages that mirrored the agony of the spirits within. The grand ballroom, once a site of opulent celebrations, now bore witness to the curse's insatiable hunger for the living. Amelia, now a prisoner of the haunted masquerade, twirled endlessly with the ghostly figures. The once elegant dance became a grotesque and suffocating ritual, each step etching her soul deeper into the cursed fabric of the castle's history. The grandeur of the ballroom faded, replaced by the haunting realization that she had become a permanent resident of the spectral gathering, a puppet in the never-ending performance of the cursed castle's macabre masquerade. The ghostly waltz continued unabated, the invisible hands of the apparitions propelling Amelia in a perpetual dance of despair. The once melodic music now twisted into dissonant chords that resonated with the tormented souls trapped within the castle's walls. As Amelia's strength waned, the spectral figures intensified their grip, their masked faces contorted in silent screams. The air within the chamber grew colder, and an otherworldly force bound her to the cursed dance floor. Desperation etched her features as she realized the true nature of the masquerade, a never-ending nightmare designed to ensnare the living. In a last, futile attempt to break free, Amelia let out a piercing scream that reverberated through the ballroom. The masks of the apparitions shifted, revealing grotesque expressions that mirrored her agony. The haunting realization struck her: the curse demanded a living soul to replace the emptiness left by the tragic events of the past. As the specters closed in, their ethereal fingers reaching out to claim her, the ballroom plunged into darkness. The echoes of the spectral music faded into an eerie silence, leaving only the residual whispers of the castle's insatiable hunger. In the void between dimensions, Amelia's consciousness lingered, suspended in a limbo between the living and the dead. The masquerade had claimed her, and the once grand ballroom now stood as a macabre testament to the unrelenting curse that bound her to the haunted castle. The legends of the masquerade persisted, whispered through the ages as a cautionary tale to those who dared to tread within the castle's confines. The ghostly dance continued, its mournful notes echoing through the stone halls, inviting new victims to join the spectral gathering. Amelia Grayson, lost to the eternal night, became a phantom within the cursed castle, her existence forever entwined with the haunted echoes of the macabre masquerade. Story 3: The Siren's Lament. Vincent Hawthorne, a seasoned investigator of the paranormal, entered the foreboding castle with a sense of trepidation. Legends spoke of a haunting melody that echoed through the corridors each night, an ethereal lament that carried the weight of a tragic love story. Armed with his equipment, Vincent ventured into the heart of the castle, determined to unravel the enigma that gripped its ancient stones. The air inside the castle hung heavy with a mournful aura as Vincent followed the haunting melody, each note pulling at the strings of his soul. The grandeur of the castle seemed to fade as he delved deeper, guided solely by the siren's lament that reverberated through the dimly lit corridors. His journey led him to a hidden chamber, where an antique piano stood shrouded in a spectral glow. The keys played themselves, each note resonating with the pain of a love lost to the annals of time. As the melody reached its climax, a phantom figure materialized before Vincent, the ghost of a forlorn maiden, her spectral visage adorned in tattered remnants of a once elegant gown. The maiden's eyes, filled with an eternal sorrow, met Vincent's gaze. The haunting melody continued, revealing the tragic tale of her lost love, a tale of betrayal and heartbreak that bound her to the castle's cursed embrace. Touched by the spectral lament, Vincent vowed to uncover the truth behind the maiden's anguish. Led by the ghostly apparition, Vincent discovered a concealed passage that unveiled the skeletal remains of the maiden's lover, hidden away for centuries. The specter's sorrow transformed into a vengeful rage, her ethereal form contorting as she condemned the living for trespassing into the castle's forbidden secrets. In a sudden twist, the haunting melody shifted into an eerie crescendo, the walls of the hidden chamber closing in on Vincent. The skeletal remains of the lost lover stirred to life, rising with a malevolent purpose. The vengeful spirit, once a mournful maiden, revealed her true form, a harbinger of doom. Vincent, trapped in the suffocating darkness, realized the investigation had unleashed a malevolent force that sought retribution for the sins of the past. The maiden's lover, now a skeletal revenant, emerged from the shadows, its bony fingers reaching out to drag Vincent into the abyss of eternal sorrow. The castle, a witness to centuries of tragedy, absorbed the echoes of Vincent's screams as the vengeful spirits claimed another victim. The haunting melody played on, its sorrowful notes luring new souls into the clutches of the cursed castle. The specter of the forlorn maiden, now joined by her skeletal lover, stood as a guardian to the tragic secrets that bound them to the castle's ghostly tapestry, forever entangled in the siren's lament that echoed through the corridors of the accursed stronghold. The castle's spectral aura thickened as the vengeful spirits claimed their newest victim. Vincent's consciousness, now adrift in a realm between the living and the dead, struggled against the suffocating grip of the haunted forces. The echoes of the siren's lament reverberated through the castle, a chilling reminder of the tragic fate that awaited those who dared to uncover its secrets. In the ethereal plane, Vincent confronted the tormented souls of the maiden and her lover. Their eyes, once filled with anguish, now gleamed with a malevolent satisfaction. The skeletal revenant extended its bony hand, pulling Vincent deeper into the spectral abyss. The castle's hidden chambers unfolded like a nightmarish maze, each corridor a passage through time, revealing the countless souls ensnared by the curse. Vincent bore witness to the castle's dark history, a tapestry woven with betrayal, heartbreak, and an insatiable thirst for vengeance. As the vengeful spirits led him through the labyrinth of sorrow, Vincent glimpsed the spectral remnants of previous investigators, their faces etched with terror. The castle, it seemed, claimed not only the living but also their memories, trapping them in a perpetual loop of despair. In a ghastly revelation, Vincent realized that the castle's curse thrived on the emotions of the living, feeding off their fear, sorrow, and regret. The maiden's lament, once a mournful cry for lost love, had transformed into a siren's song, luring unsuspecting souls to their doom. Desperate to break free from the spectral chains, Vincent invoked ancient rites of protection, hoping to shield himself from the malevolent forces that sought to claim him. The castle resisted, its very stones vibrating with a sinister energy, but Vincent's resolve remained unbroken. In a climactic struggle between the living and the dead, Vincent managed to pierce the veil between dimensions. The haunted castle, denied its intended prize, recoiled as the siren's lament faded into an anguished wail. The vengeful spirits, thwarted in their quest for retribution, retreated into the shadows, leaving Vincent standing at the castle's threshold. With a final glance at the cursed stronghold, Vincent emerged from the ethereal abyss, shaken but triumphant. The haunted echoes of the siren's lament lingered in his mind, a haunting reminder of the perilous journey into the heart of the accursed castle. As he stepped into the moonlit night, the castle's silhouette stood against the darkness, a silent sentinel guarding the tragic secrets within its walls. The siren's lament continued to echo through the ages, a cautionary melody that warned of the cursed stronghold's insidious hunger for the living.